What is going on, fam? It is your boy, JohnMichaelHowell. In this video, we're going to be covering a very long-awaited topic. You guys have been asking me to make a video about this, and here it is. How I write, record, produce, mix, master, and upload my songs. It's gonna be a bunch of information. That's a bunch of different topics, but that's the whole process, and that's what we're getting into in this video. An overview on how to write, record, produce, mix, master, and upload your songs. But before we get into it, this video is sponsored by DistroKid. What is DistroKid? DistroKid is how you get your music out everywhere it needs to go. A lot of you guys ask me, how do I get my music on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, TikTok, Pandora? How do I get my music out there? You have to use a distributor. And the best distributor that I know about is DistroKid. The process of getting your song from computer to entire world is so incredibly easy. You can upload a song in literally 5 minutes. All musicians across the world who are artists should be using DistroKid because it's so easy to even do things like set up splits and release dates and pre-order dates, and you can have custom features like make your songs Shazamable, make your songs to where you can ask Siri to play them, a bunch of amazing stuff, and DistroKid makes this whole process very easy. I've been using DistroKid for the past 2 to 3 years, and my family's band, the New Sound is Family, have been using DistroKid for the past 4 or 5 years, and it's been so easy, so amazing. I've thought to myself, why doesn't everybody use this? It's so much easier than all these other distributors. It's DistroKid. I recommend it to all my friends, and I'm very honored that DistroKid would reach out to me to sponsor this video. So you need to sign up on DistroKid. If you sign up right now, go to distrokid.com/VIP/JMH, and my discount code is gonna give you 7% off your first entire year of using DistroKid. That's really gonna add up, and DistroKid is a very important part of this entire process. You can also click that link down in my description. So go ahead and do that. That's how we're gonna get your songs out everywhere. That's extremely important. It's an equally important part to this entire process. And now, without further ado, let's head on to topic number 1, writing. All right, here we are on the computer now, and now the secret's out. I just use a bunch of different road cases and things to hold my cameras and lights and stuff. But let's head over to some lyrics to talk about writing. Now today, for this example, I'm gonna be using To the Moon, which is a song I released this year. It's on my EP, Sky's Not the Limit. You should go and check it out so that you have further context to what we're about to talk about. So whenever I think about writing, I usually have a process that goes something like this, and I'll spit it out to you guys right now. Whenever I'm writing, I'll first have the idea and then get solid on what I want the idea to be. And then I'll just start shotgunning different lyrics, phrases, and things to see what sticks as I'm kind of building out the song. And then I'll go for feel. Always go for feel whenever you're writing songs, whenever you're producing, mixing, because if it feels right, that's all that matters. You want songs to be able to move you. You want it to move people. And so if it doesn't move you first, it's not gonna move other people. So always make sure you got the right feel going. After I get those things down, I'll start the refining process, and that's what I want to talk about here on La Computer Dora. See, I know some Spanish. So in the refining process, a lot of you guys think that, really good writers will just sit down and just put out a song, and some writers can do that, but for example, there's about 2.5 pages of me just throwing ideas down and a bunch of just editing going up in my mind to get to these refined lyrics at the end. So don't be afraid whenever you're writing songs to have pages and pages and pages of lyrics that you're just going through to try to refine to get the perfect lyrics for the song. I mean, there are songs where literally I'll have like 10 pages of just lyrics and lyrics and lyrics and lyrics, me getting to the refined end point. And so don't be afraid to do that in your songwriting process. Okay, so here are some things to think about whenever you're kind of in this refining process. You want to think about rhymes, connecting ideas, feel, and emotion. Is it vibey? Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it nostalgic? Is it inspiring? Inspired, but it's inspiring, I meant to say. And those are the things you want to think about whenever you're songwriting. And so first, with rhymes, it's kind of in no specific order. You kind of want to just be having all those 3 things just going on in your head the whole time. but I always try to make like the ends of my phrases rhyme, or like the beginning of my phrases rhyme, because rhymes really give you that feeling where you land at the right spot, and it has that like that was good moment. Like, have you ever heard like a great freestyle, like someone who's freestyling and rapping, and they'll spit out this entire line and it's all intricate, and the words and the phrases are so like out of the ordinary, and you're like, how is he gonna tie this together? And then the next line, just without delay, he goes into it and he rhymes it at the end, like this crazy word, and it's like, oh, it gives you that like, oh, that was legit feeling. And so rhymes kind of give your song that this is legit feeling, as long as you do it in a non-cheesy way. So onto the moon, I'll rhyme at the end of my phrases arms and hearts. Those are soft rhymes. Help it and heavens. Those are also soft rhymes. Moon and soon. You, room, moon. And then on this verse 2 letters G and O, where they will take me, only heaven knows. I promise it's not you, it's me. Oh baby, I just need some time to dream. So it's me and to dream are the things that are rhyming there. My mouse sucks. It disconnects like intermittently the entire time. And then we have blue and you. And so those are just to point out some rhymes. I try to keep things, that have that feeling where they connect and it's like, that hits right. And then connecting ideas, I kind of highlight in different colors some ideas that connected. So like 3 summers and winters, obviously that's, seasonal. And then, this says 3 summers. So in verse 2, I said 2 letters. So, we got this numbers thing going on. And then right here, we stayed locked in the home of each other's arms. We've got to fight for more than just our hearts. I'm on a rocket going straight to the stars. I promise it's not you, it's me. Oh baby, I just need some time to breathe. So, this phrase right here would be kind of an answer to this like can't help it thing. Like I'm gonna miss you on the way to the moon. I can't help this idea of me just shooting for these dreams, shooting for these ambitions. It's not you, it's me. And so I try to connect my ideas like this to where the narrative makes sense. So here we go. My feet are on the ground, but my head is in the heavens, and so I'll miss you on the way up to the moon. So it gives you more context for what's going on. My feet are on the ground, like I'm stable, but I've just got my head in the heavens. I just got my head in the stars. So I gotta go. I'll miss you on the way up to the moon. And then obviously the phrase ends with the same lyrics. I'll miss you on the way up to the moon, on the way up to the moon. And then I'll be making a wish as I shoot across the blue that the stars lead me back to you. So that gives you a little bit bigger idea into the narrative of what's going on, that although you're leaving behind, you don't mean to go forever. You just, right now, at this point in time, you just gotta shoot for the stars. You just gotta go there. Your head's in the heavens. You can't help it. You can't help it. So those are some ideas that connect. Also, I wanted to give you guys just a format that can help you write, especially with pop music, in terms of how to structure your song. And this is one that really works for me, that I learned from some really good songwriters. And that is verse, chorus, instrumental, pre-chorus or bridge, and then chorus. This really works for me. And so in context of this song, sometimes I'll count the pre-chorus as just another part of the verse. Usually people do. No one really calls things pre-choruses anymore. So I don't even know why I put that there. But what we got going on here is verse 1, chorus, and this is how I structured the song. Verse 2, chorus, and then we have our instrumental / bridge part, which there's a little guitar solo, and then I don't know why I said little guitar solo. There's a big guitar solo. You should go and listen to it because I think you'll like the guitar solo. But then we'll have that guitar solo part, and then we have this bridge / like kind of pre-chorus thing that happens there, and then we go back into the chorus. Then the song ends. And that's the format. That's what I do with a lot of my songs. Now, if you feel your song escaping this format, but it still feels right, go for it. Don't be so confined to just this format because it's the one I told you about. Feel free to experiment and do that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit of a look into the songwriting part. Let's head on to the second part, which is recording. And for the recording part, I'm just gonna tell you what you're gonna need to record. Like I said, this video is more of an overview to give you a look into the whole process so that if you're passionate about it, you can go and learn all of these steps more exhaustively. But here's what you'll need in order to record. You will need an interface a computer, a DAW, which DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. That's what this whole thing is right here. I use Ableton and Pro Tools. You can use Logic. You can use Sonar if you want to. Sonar's expired. I don't think they even make new ones now. You can use anything you want to, anything that works for you. You'll need a mic. I use an SM7. You need headphones and speakers, or at least one of the two. You probably headphones first, because if you're recording vocals, you're going to need headphones on so that your music doesn't bleed into what you're recording. And then you'll just need the cables for that. You'll need the XLR cables or the 1/4-inch cables, the adapters. And I'll put some stuff that's really affordable, that's, good price, that I would recommend in the description. So if you want to check that out, feel free to. But that's what you need for the recording process. And I recommend this website called PureMix. I think it's puremix.net. I'll link that in the description below too. That really taught me a lot on how to record things, how to mic things, how to, record an acoustic guitar, different ways to record an acoustic, setting gain levels right, and all this stuff. And I really recommend using something like puremix.net, these people who are pros who really know how to do this whole process. I recommend learning from them. So go ahead and sign up on that website if you want to learn more about that. And then let's head on over into the third part of this video, which is producing. Here we are, Into the Moon. There it is. I'm going to verify here that we're rolling good. Yeah, we're rolling good. Sometimes I check Pro Tools because it will give me this random error message right in the middle. But anyways, whenever you're thinking about production, there's three main elements. Some other people may say that there's more than that, but I've kind of condensed it to three main elements to kind of bring together like rap music and all that stuff, because sometimes rap doesn't have much going on besides the vocal and the beat. And those three elements that I think are central to every production, unless it's like, of course, acoustic or like an instrumental kind of weird thing. For most pop music, there's three elements, and these are the three: the beat, the vocals, the instruments. The beat, the vocals,
on the way up to the moon,
instruments. Those are the three elements that I stick with. And I could go into more in depth of what's going on here, but once again, this video is more of an overview. So I'm going to tell you some things that I think will be super, super key and super, super helpful and add a lot of value to you right now on how to go about your productions. The first thing that I put down is go for feel. You want it to feel right. If your beat doesn't feel right, mess with it, change it around. Don't be afraid to experiment with anything. You want the feel to be right. That's central to how the song's going to go over. So make sure your feel is good. After that, I would recommend learning how to build proper dynamics into your song. Dynamics are the ups and downs in the song. Does your song start up here and go down? That might not be good. You might want your song to ramp up in energy, but you want to throw dynamically stuff into the song that makes sense. For example, if I were to kind of browse around here in this song, I start kind of stripped down.
3 summers we stayed locked in the home of each other.
Then this first chorus, we bring in a few more instruments, and that then would be a dynamic raise. And then for verse 2, we have a dropout at the beginning, which is again another dynamic thing, and then we bring it into this kind of like sparse but syncopated kind of thing.
2 letters G and know where they will take me, only heaven knows. I promise it.
I think some of my media files are missing, but that's okay, you get the point. And then by the time we're into this part right here, once again the dynamic comes up and all the way to the end. So the song kind of does this, like go up, medium, and then up, and then there's a part after the second chorus where it drops way down, and then it blasts back up into the chorus. And so you want these feelings of like, you're moving someone, you're taking someone on a journey, even in your production. So make sure you got proper dynamics going on. Also, whenever you're producing, I like to think about it like painting. A lot of people will try to pull in some heavy instruments, like maybe it's like a Juno pad where it's got all these different voicings and all this different frequency range being taken up, or maybe something like a piano, and they try to fill out their mix very quickly. I actually recommend doing the opposite. Add as many small, like tiny, even like thin, elements, as many of those as you possibly can, and until your mix feels right, because the last thing that you want is your mix to be so overcrowded, or your production to be so overcrowded that it then affects the mix. And we'll get into the mix in a second, but really whenever you're producing, you're adding all these different textures, right? It's like painting. That's what I say. It's like whenever you're painting a picture, you don't just start going and take all these massive brush strokes and start painting. You paint the tiny trees. You paint the tiny trees as, what's his name? The dude with the afro. I can't remember him right now, but that dude, as he says, whenever you're making a production, it's just adding little elements, little brush strokes at a time. And as you add these little tiny brush strokes, eventually you'll arrive at the full picture, which is your full production being complete. Let's move on into the mix. I talked about this a second ago, and that's don't overcrowd your mix. Don't overcrowd it. Make sure there's plenty of space at the right places. You don't want it to be empty. You want it to be full, but not crowded. So don't add so many things that it distracts from the point of the song, which is to take you on a journey. And I'll say this for those of you who are watching this who have never mixed anything before, or maybe you've just done a few things and you're beginning, let me give you some advice that my dad gave me, and that is calm down on bass. A lot of producers, especially beat makers, whenever they're starting out, will put so much bass, and the kick drum will be so loud in the mix that things are distorting and the whole mix just sounds really muddy. And so just watch out for that. And so whenever you're mixing your vocals, I really recommend taking the time to learn how to mix vocals properly. The point of mixing vocals, you want it to sound, you want the vocal EQ to sound right, like the frequencies. You want it to sound like, kind of like how I'm talking to you right now. You don't want it to sound like, or like just this, like the very high end, You want it to have this kind of full sound. And so take the time to learn how to do that properly. I added some extra things in my notes here. Make it smooth. You want the whole song. You don't want you want your vocals to be smoothed out to where there's not just random notes that, maybe it's a high note that just randomly pops up in the mix and like hits you in the face. You don't want that. Learn about EQ, compression, and effects, because those are the main three things you need to be able to mix your songs good. You need to learn how to EQ, you need to learn about compression, and you need to learn about effects. Let me show you how powerful effects can be. I'm going to solo out all the effects in this session here and just let you hear the effects and what they're adding. It's kind of cool, right? If we take all those away, a lot more boring without the effects. So effects are very key to this whole mixing process. So learn about reverbs and delays and all that good stuff, and Pure Mix can help you a lot with that too. Let's go to number 5. For number 5, we're talking about mastering here. And mastering is basically putting an overall EQ and compression on your mix to where it sounds, whether that's radio ready or just ready, where it can sound ready. And what I use for mastering, a lot of people would frown upon this. A lot of people are like, that's kind of cool. I use Lander. What Lander is it's a website that actually you'll upload your song, it will analyze your song, and it will give you some mastering options that are really simple and easy to use. I love using Lander. This video is not sponsored by them, but I really recommend using them. They're good people, it works well for me, and their EQs and their compression sound really awesome, so I recommend trying them out. Give it a shot. You can sign up for free, and I think you get like maybe a song or two you can upload to kind of check it out, I would try it out. It saves me a lot of time, and I really love how it sounds. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'll say here on the mastering, after you've really had mixes, I usually will apply some mastering and then I'll listen back to the mix for stuff, because sometimes, some stuff sounds different after mastering. But let me encourage you, whenever you're mixing and mastering, listen on everything. Listen in your car, your iPhone speakers, your AirPods, your bad earbuds, your sketchy home sound theater system. Listen everywhere, because you want as much context as you can. The song's not going to sound exactly the same on every single thing you listen to it on, but it should feel the same. So make sure the feel's the same. Make sure on some speakers there's not some frequency hopping out so much to the point where it's just distracting. So listen on everything and make sure you like it on all of those things. And then that brings us to our very last step, which is uploading. And we talked about it in the beginning of the video. You need a good distributor. You need someone that's trustworthy, that is going to get your music out everywhere it needs to go. And I trust DistroKid. I think you should be using DistroKid because they're trustworthy. I've had friends who've had all these different problems with Spotify, Apple Music, and all these different things going on, and DistroKid has always been so easy to work with, and DistroKid will help them know what to do, how to reach out to Spotify, how to reach out to Apple Music if they encounter any problems. And just even beyond the uploading part, their customer service has been really good. It's really easy, and whenever you're going over how much money you made from stuff, whether it be from streams or people buying your stuff, it's very conveniently stored and categorized in their own little bank thing. And then, at any time you can withdraw your funds from your little bank that you have within the DistroKid website. And so it's really easy to use. You can even go and break down, how much money you made from Spotify and Apple Music and all these different places. And it seems so easy and just straightforward to use. So I'd recommend that. Once again, you can sign up on DistroKid right now with my link, distrokid.com/VIP/JMH, and you're gonna get 7% off your first year of using DistroKid if you use that link. And if you have some friends who are wanting to sign up on DistroKid or release some music, make sure they do it on that link so that they get that 7% off. That link's also in the description. But guys, thank you so much for hanging to the end on this video. I know that was a whole lot of information, but I appreciate you sticking to the end. I hope it helped you. If you've got specific questions, go ahead and let me know. I will respond to them as often and as best as I can. I usually respond to 99% of the stuff I get. So be sure, if you have any questions, comment that below. Whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, or whatever, comment that. I want to be able to help you and respond to your stuff. But once again, thanks so much for sticking to the end. I hope you have an awesome day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And God bless you, ministry. Peace out, fam.